Good morning, everyone. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn, guys. Let's get straight into it. But before I do that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and please don't forget to smash a like on the video. Now, look, you know what? A few hours since Manchester United lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest last night, in what would say a toothless attacking display, I would say. And to be honest with you, this has been going on for quite a while now, and it's long well overdue for me to say this, that our attack is just simply not good enough. And I put everyone in that bracket. Simply not good enough up front. Now, we look solid in defense, to be honest with you. Midfield is okay, looked relatively solid. But as soon as we get into the attacking third, we're void of ideas. You know, we're playing like just guesswork. You know, and it's like that. We're nervous when we get into anywhere near the box. We got nowhere near enough players in the box. When we're chasing a goal, we got nowhere near enough players in the box. We're not crossing the ball enough. We're not getting the ball down the bylines. We're not doing the overlapping runs. The players are not picking out the right passes. It's, you know what, there needs to be changes in the summer in regards to the attacking third. And this is something that we brought on. We've raised this subject for many, many weeks now about how Man United need to find a striker that's going to be dominant, a striker that's going to be, you know what, able to put the ball back in there. But then again, I look at the two number 10s and I look at them and I think, are they going to take Manchester United forward too? Is Garnacho going to make that right pass? Is he going to stop shooting from ridiculous angles when there's overlapping runs? You know, I couldn't fathom how anyone could blame Dorgu yesterday. I mean, he was doing the overlapping runs, but he wasn't getting the ball. And that's what we have to generally look at. We have to look at the youth team, and we have to look at where Garnacho came from and what he was as a youth team player. And to be honest with you, he's only 20 years old, so I'm not going to lay into him too much. I do think he needs a spell on the bench, but at the same time, we haven't got anyone else, have we? Everyone seems to be injured all the time, including fan favourite Ahmad, who seems to be injured a lot as well. You know, so we got to look at this, and we've got to look at this subjectively. And if Man United truly, really want to be successful, what do we need to do? Well, we all know what we need to do. We know we need to go out there and buy an experienced striker. We need to buy a very good number 10, a Trincao sort of player, a Cunha sort of player. We need to get another midfielder in there. We need to get a right wing back. And another thing about our right wing back situation, where was Dalot yesterday? Where was Dalot yesterday? Again, Dalot, awful. Again, you know what I mean? How many times? We need to get this situation sorted. We need to get a wing back. If not, bring in one of the youth, because this Dalot geezer, he's not doing anything, mate. He's not. He's been probably the worst player this season. Isn't it ironic that the player who came on, Harry Maguire, ended up being our most effective player in the attacking third? Now, I've done a poll, guys, on the video. If you guys vote for your man of the match, you can vote for your man of the match on the poll. Let me know. I'll pick 4 players there. I'll pick 3 players there, but you can also pick your own one. Just drop a comment and stuff like that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you, Sanj. Hope you're good. But it is very, very frustrating, guys. It's very, very annoying. And you know what? Because we wait so long for a football game, and then we flatter to deceive. You know, we just don't know how to put the ball in the back of the net. We don't know how to make the right choices. And it is so frustrating at times. It really is. And, I really hope that this is addressed in the summer, because without scoring goals, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to win titles. We're not going to win major trophies again if we can't score football goals. You know, at the end of the day, we struggle everywhere we go. You know, we struggle everywhere we go. That is Man United's theme tune. We struggle to score everywhere we go. We can't put the ball in the back of the net like we used to. And I was ironically reminiscing about the 8-1 against Nottingham Forest in 98-99. I know it's different times, but you know what? It's just where we've come from, you know, who we are in regards to goal scoring. We used to be the masters of goal scoring. Now, we're probably the worst goal scorers there is I've ever seen. You know, look, when I was raised watching Man United, you know, there's simple things, right? It's not always about talent and stuff like that. It is about application, ideas, guts, You know, that is one thing. Guts. You know, and when Man United go 1-0 down, when there's 10 minutes to go, when I was growing up, we were losing games, by the way. And, you know, I would say that when we were losing game, when there was about 10, 15 minutes to go, Man United would go full gun-ho. They would go gun-ho. We have 4 or 5 players in the box, if not more. You have the wingers chasing forward, crossing that ball into the box relentlessly, not giving the opposition team a chance to get out. Chance after chance after chance after chance. When we are 1-0 down, it seems like we got 1 player in the box, 1 or 2 players in the box. We got 2 wingers shooting from ridiculous angles. We got lack of leadership, definitely. And you know, the decision making is absolutely diabolical. You know, football is a very simple game when you analyze it and you think, right, what do we do to score goals? Get people in the box, put Nottingham Forest under pressure, keep pressing them, press. Don't worry about what happens on the other side. You press them. Concentrate on yourself. You press them. You get the goals. You know what I mean? Concentrate on getting a goal. Cross that ball into the box. Get loads of people into the box. Get runners coming and running into the box afterwards. Just relentless pressure. Football's a simple game, but we just seem to complicate it. You know, and we just seem to like think, oh, it's like we got the weight of the world on our shoulders sometimes. You know, sometimes you go 1-0 down in football matches. Why is it that when we go 1-0 down in football matches, we can't get back? We rarely get back. You know, I mean, I remember Man United going 3-0 down at halftime, you know, and winning 5-3. You know, we can't even score. We can't even get back from 1-0 down. And let's be real here, guys. Nottingham Forest there yesterday were there for the taking. Now, look, I don't like revisionism. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we're creaming over Elanga. Elanga was never good enough to play for Man United. And I really enjoyed Ruben Amram's quotes yesterday in regards to some players are better at other clubs because Manchester United shirt is heavy. Manchester United is a different club. Manchester United is a different animal. The pressure is different. When you play for Villa, when you play for Nottingham Forest, the pressure is different. And I would add that there are some players in the team right now, in the squad right now, who are not good enough and who are, look, I would say, who cannot take the pressure, who cannot hack it at Manchester United, a club like Manchester United. The weight of the world is on their shoulders, it seems. You need characters. We don't have characters. We don't. You know, we could talk all day long about Bruno, but more often, a lot of times, Bruno goes missing. Bruno went missing yesterday. He wasn't the only one, right? But he went missing yesterday, the captain, again. But then when Bruno doesn't turn up, who's going to show up? Who's going to show up for us? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So who's going to show up for us? Kenny, absolutely. Elanga was a counter-attacking footballer. You know, it was suit on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer side of team. But if you want a team that's going to be challenging for the league and Champions League, and Elanga is not for you, you know, because he's not gonna break the low block. He's not going to be creative and show guile like a Burkamp, for example, to break the low block. He's just a runner, another road runner. We got enough road runners. If you put Elanga in Man United's team, it's going to be the same thing at the end of the day. You need guile sometimes. You need a Sheringham. You need a Cantona. You know what I mean? You need a Berbatov. You need that type of player. Now, look, you know what? I like Xerxes. I really do. I think he's done well the last few weeks. But unfortunately, I feel like that, you know, he's not getting the ball in the back of the net, as you know, and he's definitely not a striker. If you're going to play Xerxes, you've got to play him as that number 10. I mean, even no matter what you think of Rasmus Højlund, we play better with him up front than Xerxes. And that is what it is, because Rasmus causes a little bit more problems up front as a striker. I see Xerxes more as a guy who plays as the false number 9. I see him like that. But still, when we look at it and we look at things subjectively, this team, these strikers, are simply not doing it. And they're simply not good enough, in my opinion. I just don't think we're good enough. And we have to do better, of course. Kenny, Bruno had a stinker for real, Sal. I'm not surprised at this point. Kenny, you know what? We have to call things how they are. We have to call things how we see them. And let's not pretend here that Bruno hasn't been shocking for half a season, because he has. You know, and we need to call this out, because we're Manchester United. I don't give a damn about individual players and people's affiliation with individual players. I don't care. You do it every single game. Great players have played for this football club who perform 7, 8 out of 10 every single game, 9 times out of 10. Now, at the end of the day, we're looking at 5 times out of 10 Bruno plays. Bruno started to play because he got a little bit of criticism from Keane. You know what I mean? Roy Keane, can you come out and criticize Bruno every week because he needs a kick up the backside sometimes, doesn't he? But he's not the only one. You know what I mean? Garnacho, selfishness, not passing that ball, not picking out the overlapping run. You know what I mean? And it's just those small details there. Dallo, one of the what I mean, where was he yesterday? Where was he yesterday? I rarely saw him. The team was so left. I mean, as I said, like Beyonce, to the left. That was it. Like, you know what I mean? It was no right side. There was no right side of our football game. No one was there on the right. You know what I mean? And how we meant to function when we cannot play from both side to side on a wing back system. We got one wing back who overlaps and runs, and then we got the other wing back who's scared, who just wants to go back and sit back in a 5. That's what he wants to do. So we need to look at this, and we need to look at this seriously. And I don't like the revisionism, as I said. I don't like the thing with about Rash or Elanga or Rashford or any one of these players. I don't like this sort of thing. I think they didn't make it at Man United. They had a chance to make it at Man United. You get one chance at Man United, and that's it, in my opinion. Guys, that's it. And, if you don't make it at Man United the first time, then you're not good enough to make it at Man United. Chance after chance after chance after chance, these players are getting. Now, I would say that in the summer, I'm not saying that anyone is exempt from being sold. I think that Man United and Ruben Amorim need to look at this and think that what's going to suit Man United going forward? What is going to suit Man United in the system? How are we going to score more goals? I tell you what, the only reason why we're going to score more goals is we get a whole new front line. And we're not going to do that, are we? We're not going to get a whole new front line. You know what I mean? We overhype mediocre players. We criticize one player for being off for half a season, then the Ahmad is off for half a season too. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And, we just don't have it. As a fan base, as a football team, we don't have the guts and guile to go after games, to chase games, to take control of games. And that goal yesterday typified everything what Man United are. Bagel FC, a run from the midfield. No one, if that was Roy Keane would have fouled Elanga. Just take him out of the game. Don't let him go any forward. And what made it even worse is it's like almost like we were inviting him to score. It was almost like, here you go, Elanga. Here you go. Score the goal. It's for you. Score the goal. Do you know what I mean? It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Guys, let me just give you some of the quotes from yesterday's game, of course, from Ruben Amorim. Guys, let's read this out. In regards to Garnacho and the bad decision, Ruben Amorim said, it can happen in a match. The most important thing for me is that when he has to come back and defend, he does it. Sometimes he overdoes it, but he wasn't to help the team. He does the best. Sometimes he doesn't make the best choice, but he's not the only one today. And I absolutely agree with that. It's not about singling out any players, because this is a collective, guys. This is a collective. This is not about one player at the end of the day. And to be honest with you, we could throw blame, but there is a collective here. I'm not saying Garnacho was good enough, by all means, no. But what we got to do is we got to look at things from a broader perspective and think about what actually is the problem here. And it's not just one player, of course. Absolutely. Bruno, Afro Suit, what's going on, my friend? Morning, Sal. Garnacho gets a yellow for throwing the ball away, but couldn't commit a foul on Elanga to prevent the goal. No IQ. I know, Afro Suit. Petulance. Garnacho should have taken out Elanga, just like how Ole did. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, look, anyone take him out. Just take him out. Look, if you cannot catch him and you feel there is danger, take him out. Take him out the game completely. That's what you do. It's called a professional foul. It's called a professional foul. You take it for the team. Take it for the team, hook his legs, get him off. You know what I mean? That's what you do at the moment, of course. Revert said, fair play, Maguire, when he came in, he looked a threat, but it's sad indictment on the attack. It's crap. Absolutely, Revert 7. Spot on. And people were criticizing Maguire. Maguire's the only one who looked a threat when he came on. Good morning, by the way. Good morning, Revert 7. So let's get on with this thing. Ruben Amorim went on to say in regards to, if you look at the game in the final 15 minutes, they were defending with 6 men in the box. So we had to get more players in there. We cannot get inside the box with the combinations. Harry Maguire is really strong on set pieces. And when you are in the opposite box, you are a striker, not a defender. He is maybe the best guy to play inside the box. And that is there. You go, as we said there, Revert 7, there is the indictment there of where Manchester United are and the investment that Manchester United need, of course. Absolutely. He goes on to say, we controlled the game, but we already knew they are a team that score out of nothing. When they scored, we changed the game to what they want. We had some good opportunities, but the last third, the last cross, pass and assist wasn't there. When you don't have that, you don't score goals. And this is not a problem that is from Ruben Amorim. This is a problem that has been going on ever since Erik ten Hag was in charge. We've had this problem. Hence, the reason we have had minus goal difference this last year or so, of course. In regards to Mason Mount, he has played in this system many times, especially at Chelsea. So I think it's a very good position for him. It's important to be able to try different things to win. Absolutely. Good to see Mason Mount back. We need as many players as we can possibly get, of course. Mason Mount does offer us something different than a Garnacho, for example. In regards to Ruben Amorim on regrets on Elanga leaving United, and this is very important, guys, because I agree with this. No, they have to perform in United. We can't look at other players that go away. They had their chance at Manchester United. You are asking a lot about other players. We have to look at the players in Manchester United. I'm focused on improving my team. Absolutely. And this is what we don't deal with absolutes in football. This is why we don't deal with, you know what, this player done well there, so why didn't he do well there? Sometimes the shirt weighs heavy. We have to admit that. Sometimes the shirt weighs heavy. Ruben Amorim said, sometimes you lose and you feel like the opponent is better, which is easier to accept. Today, we were the better team. We are improving in our way of playing, and we just improve in our way of scoring goals. We just need to improve in our way in scoring goals. It is something that we clearly need to improve, of course, and this is something that's been going on for a year. And what we're going to do now, what are Ineos going to do in the summer? Are they just going to be twiddling their thumbs, talking about finances in the new stadium? We need a proper striker. We need a proper attack. We need to start moving forward with this, of course, definitely. You know, they need to invest in Ruben Amorim. I am seeing progress in a game. I don't lie to myself. I see some things, but we have to win games. We have Europa League and we have to win the next game in the Premier League, and that is the focus. We hope so. We've got Man City, of course, coming up. We are going to play at home to Man City. We know it is very difficult. It's a difficult season, but we'll be ready for the match. I hope so, Ruben. I really do hope so, for your sake and everyone else's sake, that Man United win against Man City. That will add a little bit of boost before the Lyon game, guys. Because, of course, the Lyon game is the most important game, in my opinion. We need to win that game to win the Europa League. And if we win that, you know what I mean, it's a big, big if at the end of the day. Of course, guys. Good morning, by the way. Euro is the man of the match for Cosmo. Good point. Euro. So people are saying Euro at the moment. Good to see Mason Mount back. It's good. We need as many players as we can put. But I'm prepared. Don't be surprised, Revert 7. If you know, if he's, I mean, let's see what happens. We've got a few months of the season left. Let's see what happens. Of course. If United are willing to spend 60 million on a striker, why don't they go and get Mamouche before he went to City? Because he's more of a number 10 now, Mac. He's a number 10. He's not like a striker. You know what I mean? He's more of a number 10, mate. We need a proper number 9. That's what Man United needs, someone a number 9. But Man United don't only need a number 9. Man United need a number 10 as well. I would say that striker number 9 is an Osimhen, is a Gutierrez, that type of player. Then we need the players behind him, like a Mamouche, like a... You know what I mean? I just feel like right now what Man United need to do, drop Garnacho to the bench in the next season, or we sell him or whatever you like. But I would keep hold of him and keep him on the bench and bring in a couple of attacking midfielders in there with a striker. I don't know if we can do that. I personally feel like we're relatively okay in the defence. But I feel like we do need a right wing back. We have nothing offered on that side. Absolutely zero offered on that side, of course, as evident with the score. Now, when we look at the player ratings, guys, here we go for the player ratings. This is my player ratings from yesterday, guys. Nana had nothing to do, but with the goal, probably could have done better, in my opinion. He gets a 4.8. Lenny Euro 6.2, done very well in the game, to be honest with you. One of the better players. Delict to 6, solid again, didn't put a foot wrong. Masri didn't really put a foot wrong, although he looked a bit clumsy at times. I was, you know, when Elanga was attacking, I'm not too sure what happened there, but the defense seemed to open up wide. I don't know why, and they let him shoot. Dalot again, guys. We have to talk about Dalot. We have to talk about Diego Dalot and these performances, guys. There comes a time we have to, you know what, we have to move on from this rubbish, guys. We really do have to move on from this rubbish. This Dalot business is getting on my nerves. He's not playing well. He's not played well for a long time. He got a 3.7 yesterday, and he's lucky to get that. Again, non-existent. Ugarte 4.8. Don't blame Ugarte, to be honest with you, coming from obviously South America during the international window. That was always going to be an issue, and needs to be remembered that he played in 4,000 altitude. It was going to be difficult for him in this game. I felt Casemiro had a decent game, 5.5, an average game. Not a decent, but an average game. Didn't really put a foot wrong. But then again, you can't blame him for the goal because it was Bagel FC, but you can't blame Ugarte as well. And Garnacho. Of course, Dorgu, one of the better players for me, got a 6.4 for me, was constantly running on that left-hand side, constantly was a danger when he got the ball in that attacking third. I felt like it's just that he weren't picked out by by Garnacho and other players, of course. Garnacho got 4.1, wasteful, selfish, unaware, lack of IQ, whatever you want to say. It's just not good enough, is it? At the end of the day, a 4.1, it needs to improve because at the end of the day, you know what? He will be out of this football club pretty quickly if he doesn't improve, because Man United need improvement. Bruno Fernandes, a 4.8. Disappointing from Bruno Fernandes. A horrible performance again. In regards to he's had them quite a few times this season. He does the ghost mission. He goes missing. And unfortunately, he doesn't perform every single game. There's certain games he picks and chooses which games he generally does. And Man United are a little bit predictable. Man United are predictable. They are with the games that they play. You know, they teams that you know we're going to win against. It just seems predictable for me. And Bruno needs to do it more consistently and for a longer period of time, in my opinion. Because this attacking lineup, attacking-wise, you have to include Bruno in that attacking third. And he didn't do nothing yesterday, nothing. Xerxes gets a 3.9. I don't think he's a striker. I think he is a number 10. I don't think he fits that role there anywhere near good enough. I think he should play number 10. I was surprised he started as a number 9. I think he should have played as a number 10, definitely, and probably would have done better. Probably might have not lost the game, to be honest with you. I do question that, to be honest. I think that we were playing well without Xerxes as a number 9. We were playing well as Xerxes as a number 10. It would have been better if we gave Ugarte a rest and played Bruno in that number 8 position instead of Ugarte, because he obviously, look, guys, Ugarte played in South America during the midweek. So, you know, we have to remember that as well. Of course, when we move on to the substitutes, guys, I felt Rasmus Højlund average when he came on. It didn't really put a foot wrong, but it fairly average. Didn't really threaten either. 5 for me. Ericsson gets a 4.8. Non-effective, not effective at all. Didn't really put his stamp, his authority. I felt Mason Mount did okay when he came on. I really do. I felt Mason Mount did okay when he came on, and you know what? Had a good shot. Was unlucky, but at least he was trying something, and at least we got a shot off. Do you know what I mean? That actually was close. To be honest with you guys, and we're going to have to be real here. When Harry Maguire came on the pitch, we were a lot better. We were a lot better when Harry Maguire came on the pitch. And I mean, it's funny, isn't it? You know, when people are criticizing Harry Maguire, but he was our most effective attacking player on the night. And that really goes to show you where we are. And it is an indictment where we are, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Ruben Amram for me gets a 6. Look, we lost the game. And you know what? I felt like there's a few decisions there that I didn't agree with. I don't think that Xerxes is a striker, and that is about it. But obviously, hindsight is a beautiful thing. At the same time, we have to look at that in diplomatically and subjectively, and look at the way the game went. We dominated the game, yeah, but again, we're just not good at decision making. Football, you know what, is on fine margins at the end of the day. We deal with fine margins of football, and when you make the wrong decisions time and time again, you know, in regards to the players. The manager always gets the blame, doesn't he? He always gets the blame, but it is the players that are the ones to blame, of course, most of the time. In regards to Dorgu, he was my man of the match yesterday. My man of the match. I felt like he did well, but I want to see what the updates are in regards to the so far. The man of the match is other. So 20% of Dorgu. So it looks like it is. Yeah, I think it probably is. Could be Lenny Euro as the man in the match. Of course, it could be Lenny Euro, guys. Absolutely. Euro man of the match. Good to see. If United were willing to spend 6 million on a striker, yes, absolutely. Dorgu was bad. He should tackle Alanga. It was Garnacho as well, mate. UK Dan, what's going on, my friend? And some poor performances, but I felt we didn't deserve to. We didn't, Darren. And you know what? If we had a decent attacking lineup, a decent attacking players with who make the right choices, Man United win that game comfortably. I know any Man United team in since I've been a Man United fan, especially under Alex Ferguson, would have won that game. Man City would have won that game yesterday. Arsenal would have won that game yesterday. Liverpool would have won that game yesterday, in my opinion. I didn't think Nottingham Forest performed anywhere near what they have done. They didn't have Chris Wood. Of course, guys, they didn't have Chris Wood in the side, of course. Chris Wood is their main striker. They didn't even have him yesterday. And, I felt Man United had the game there for the taking, and they didn't take it again. And this happens so often with Man United this season. We dominate and we look like we can win, but as soon as we get into that attacking third, we just don't know what to do with the ball. It's like a hot potato. And, we make the wrong decisions. We either shoot, and we don't only shoot, we shoot badly. We shoot badly. We're one of the worst shot takers in football I've seen. We shoot always over the bar. It's always miles over the bar, isn't it? At the end of the day. The striker market is very thin. There is very few proven strikers and nothing that's great value. Can we take a punt on Campias Castulas? He needs some development, but he's cheaper. He's cheaper, but then again, Rasmus Højlund would score goals in Greece. You know what I mean? Rasmus Højlund must probably score 20, 30 goals in Greece. I mean, you look at Martial's killing it in Greece. Greece is not a league that we can judge, bring him into the Premier League. We could take a punt, but again, it's a risk. We need to get rid of Anthony. We need to get rid of Rashford, and we need to get someone like Osimhen in and stop messing around. That's what we need to do. Someone like Gutierrez, getting Osimhen, get Anthony out, get Rashford out, and spend the money on a decent striker for crying out loud. We've had enough of these young strikers, the Xerxes, the Højlunds, you know what I mean, the Armads. We need someone who's prolific, who's proven to be scoring goals. 24, 25, can score goals for Man United. It was very rare that Alex Ferguson purchased 18, 19-year-old strikers. Rooney was the only exception, but you could argue that he was a false number 9. And he was the only exception. We generally bought Berbatov in his late 20s, bought Andy Cole in his mid-20s. You know what I mean? We that's what we did. Van Persie in his late 20s. Of course, we used to do that. Why did we do that? Because look at the picture here. Look at the pattern. You need players who can prove in scoring goals. Scoring goals is a speciality. It's a specialist skill. And we got to stop getting, what might be. It might work. It might work. It's just a waste of time. Lenny Ora for me, man of the match so far. Lenny Ora is the man of the match, guys. So far for you guys. I feel the manager from Ruben is not good yesterday. But Paul, I feel like, I don't know what Ruben can do, Paul. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got a pool of players that are not his, that I think are extremely overrated, Paul. I would say that a lot of those players right there, from what I'm seeing, they're proving week in, week out. A lot of those players are proving to me that they are just not good enough. And you cannot teach someone, you cannot teach Peter Crouch to become Ronaldinho. Do you know what I mean? You get what I mean? You can't do that. It's just, he's got the players he's got, and he can only do what he has to do. I just feel like a lot of these players lack it up here, and they lack it in an ability-wise. And with that, we can't blame Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim can only be judged once he gets his players in. Look at yesterday. Dominated the game possession-wise, had a number of chances to score goals, but we couldn't put the ball in net. You know what I mean? And who's that? That's not Ruben Amorim's fault. That is the players on the pitch. So what are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? My opinion is this, right? Man United need to move on now. Man United need to move on from Eriksen. Need to move on, get Garnacho back on the bench. Move on from Xerxes and just play some youngsters in there, man. Just play some youngsters and see what they can do up front. Absolutely. We need ready-made striker big time. Absolutely, Darren. We can't be taking any more risks now with young players. Yes, we can buy young defenders. We can buy the young wing backs. We can do that. But when it comes to striker, a striker needs to be ruthless. And that is up here. The striker needs to be absolutely ruthless. And I don't think our strikers are. I think we deserved at least 1 point from yesterday's game. Cosmo, I agree with you. Eriksen was poor. Cosmo, I I don't rate Eriksen anymore. If you're a Tottenham fan, if you speak to Tottenham fans, they will tell you that Eriksen was finished 5 years ago. Cosmo, Eriksen shouldn't be playing for Man United anymore. And what if I was to criticize Ruben Amorim, it will be this: stop doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's insanity, and you're doing it over and over again. What you need to do, Ruben, is try something different. Stop bringing on, Eriksen, and doing the same thing. Try Kone, bring on Kone, try something different, get some energy in that midfield. Bring a Collier on, Kone, bring the kids on, see what they can do. That's what I would say to you. Stop bringing on Eriksen and players like that who just don't do nothing. They're ineffective. Eriksen's ineffective. He never does anything. He's just finished. He's finished. He needs to be playing in Holland. He's done. Honest to God. Baz, morning all. We visually play better apparent from the goal conceded. Nachos on the left doesn't work. Good point, Baz. Nacho has been playing better on the right-hand side, hasn't he? Over the last few weeks, when Man United got in a rich reign of form, he has been playing on the right. Højlund has been playing up front. Xerxes has been playing the left number 10. Bruno has been playing as a number 8. And I feel that has been working. I don't know why we changed it yesterday. We did, but I don't know why. It was kind of working. We were winning. And I didn't feel a need to change the game yesterday in regards to the tactics. So that is wrong, of course, guys. Absolutely. Ima Barrett, Sunny, thank you so much, my friend. Hope you had a great Eid. And I hope you had a great time and blessed time, my friend. Hope your Ramadan was nice. Expressions oozing was right. What I would say, Kenny, is that my brother has been a Tottenham fan. My older brother, he lives in New York. He's been a Tottenham fan for 40 years. 40 years. And he was completely baffed why Man United signed Eriksen. He said Eriksen was done ages ago. Why are you signing Eriksen? Eriksen is a Brentford player. He played well for Brentford when he was on loan there, wasn't he? I feel like, I feel like he's a Brentford player. I feel like Man United, I feel like he is lower than that now. I actually feel like he's lower than that now. I actually feel like he's a Southampton player. I feel like he's done. He's done. He's not a top level player anymore. He's a very, very average player. And not only him, the Eriksen substitution, I absolutely agree, was the wrong substitution. I agree. And if Ruben Amorim wants to succeed at Man United, he needs to stop doing things that don't make a difference in the game. For example, he needs to stop doing the same thing over and over again. And it's insanity, as the old quotes says, of course. So I would say that substitution-wise, it was wrong. He done the wrong things in the game. And to be honest with you, I don't blame him so much in regards to it until he has his own squad in there. But what we're going to do in the summer, guys, we got Eriksen needs to leave. Lindelof needs to leave. Evans going to go. Casemiro needs to leave. Shaw needs to leave. Malacia needs to leave. I think Onana needs to leave. I think Dalot needs to leave. One of those strikers need to leave. They're not good enough at the end of the day, Whether we sell Garnacho or Mainu, someone needs to leave as well. We got a lot of, we got up to 10 players that could leave this football club, and until these players are replaced, we can't really judge Ruben Amorim like that. What we can say is that we can differentiate between the good apples and the bad apples. And hopefully next season, the good apples will stay and the bad apples will be gone. We need players with personality. We need players with guts. We need players who when we're 1-0 down, can take the game by the scruff of the neck and win that game for Manchester United. Win the game, not just draw the game, win the game for Man United. Absolutely, Cosmo. Look, Cosmo, I agree with you. I don't think Eriksen is the player that he was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Eriksen, of course, was a great player. He was a great player. He was a decent player over his career. He's been a good player over his career, but he's not been an absolute world beater. He's been okay. He was okay at Ajax. When he went to Ajax, you know what I mean? Was okay at Tottenham. Okay. Wasn't, didn't really set the world alight, of course, but he's at Man United in the twilight of his career. What is he doing at Man United? We need to think like this. We are a big club, guys. We're a massive club, right? Why do we have Eriksen still playing for Manchester United? Why do we have these players still playing for Man United? If you do not perform for this football club, you should be out the door. It's as simple as that. But we seem to be hanging on to these players for dear life. Hanging on, hanging on, hanging on. You just keep me hanging on. Absolutely. Lord Rodney, the Alenga dagger. Alenga, look, you know what? Alenga plays well in a counter-attacking system, Lord Rodney. And Man United don't play a counter-attacking system. Alenga is a road runner. Wasn't good enough for Man United. And I'm not saying that these players are good enough for Man United because they're not. A lot of these players are not. But Alenga was not either. You know, Alenga was a road runner. Yesterday, he should have been tackled. We let him run free for a goal. And that's all we did, right, at the end of the day. And we should have tackled him. We should have fouled him, done a professional foul. Roy Keane would have just took him out. You know what I mean? And another one. Look, these players are not good enough for Man United. As Ruben Amorim said yesterday, many players leave Man United and they do well at other clubs because the Man United shirt weighs heavy. The pressure at Man United is bigger than any other club in England, any other club. And it takes a special type of character to play for this football club. Unfortunately, there's players who have played for this football club, who currently play for this football club, who are simply not good enough. Not good enough. They're not, I mean, I wouldn't say talent-wise they're not good enough. I think up here, they're not good enough. They can't handle the pressure of being a Man United player. They can't. They don't know what to do. It's too much pressure. Man United is too much pressure for them, and they can't handle the pressure of playing for this great football club. Do you know what I mean? And Alenga is a road runner. Aaron Lennon. He's like that. Do you know what I mean, Rodney? And, we need more than that. Was Aaron Lennon ever good enough to play for Man United? No, he wasn't, was he? You know, was Theo Walcott ever good enough to play for Man United? No, he wasn't, was he? You know, because he's a road runner. And Man United got to get away from road runners. We've got enough road runners. We've got Ahmad, we've got Garnacho. There are enough road runners as it is. We've got too many road runners. Unfortunately, we've got road runners who run into blind alleys. I mean, some of these teams, some of these players are not at the level they should be. They should be at a lower level, definitely. Exactly, Kenny. There's a difference between a Bergkamp, a Berbatov, than there is with an Elanga. Man United need a Berbatov or a Bergkamp or a Cantona kind of player who can make something happen out of nothing. Do you know what I mean? So who can find that pass. Do you know what I mean? Xerxes could be that guy. That's why I thought a little bit surprised why Xerxes wasn't played as a number 10. I feel like he was really good over the last few weeks as a number 10. I don't think he's anywhere near as good enough as the players that I've mentioned. But what I would say is that we do need that type of player. We need a player who can unlock the door, especially in this system. Because when you look at this system, the wingers are going to be the wing back, right wing back, and the left wing back. Those are going to be the wingers. So the two number 10s need to have guile. They need to have skill. They need to have the ability to find that pass. They need to have the ability to create something. You know what I mean? And they're not creating everything. As Martin O'Neill said yesterday, they're not creating anything. They're not creating enough. As a number 10, you need to create. You know what I mean? And you need to make things happen. That little bit of skill that opens up the door, opens up the defense. Do you know what I mean? You need that. A Bergkamp, you know what I mean? A Berbatov, a Cantona, a Rooney, that type of player. Do you know what I mean? Who can unlock the door. We don't have that at the moment. We really don't. We have two players playing as number 10 who can basically a road runner. Garnacho's a road runner. So when you've got a flat back 5 or you've got a flat back 4 and you've got players just running in straight lines like this or cutting in or running in straight lines, it's very easy to defend against. You need something that is a little bit wow. Look at Beckham, for example. Beckham will get the ball on the right-hand side. He played in the 4-4-2, but Beckham will get the ball on the right-hand side and just hit it in the box. A perfect cross, and it will cause more problems than Garnacho. Garnacho could run, right, all game, right? All game, right? He could run and run and run and run. Beckham would do one pass, and he would do more in one pass than Garnacho would do in the whole game. It will cause more problems with one pass than Garnacho. You need guile, you need skill, you need that ability to unlock the door. Do you know what I mean? We need a player like dying out, crying out for a player like a Berbatov. You know what I mean? We're crying out for that type of player. We need that type of player. Scholes, you know what I mean? That type of player who can lock the door. We've got to stop clinging on to players. We've got to stop hoping that they become good as well. Unbelievable that they let him dunk on you, though. Probably just gave Forest your Champions League football, and by your old player who was never really given a fair. He was given a fair shake, Rodney, and he was never good enough, Rodney. He wasn't good enough. He was given a fair shake. He was given a fair. He's a road runner, Rodney. He's a Tottenham player. He's not a Man United player. He's a road runner. You know what I mean? He done one run, which we didn't tackle him, and we let him do that at the end of the day, and that was all we did in the game. He's not a world beater. Nottingham Forest will go to the Champions League and get knocked out first round. That's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because they can't play that formation in the Champions League, they'll get murdered. You know, and at the end of the day, you know what? I've seen great players in my life, Rodney, and Alanga is definitely not one of them. Trust me. At the end of the day, absolutely not. Palestri and look, Rodney, Palestri and Alanga were not good enough for Manchester United. They were not good enough for Man United. They're not good enough. None of them are. Even the players now, not good enough. What's Palestri done since he left Man United, mate? What's he done since he left Man United? Exactly, Rodney. Exactly, Kenny. Exactly. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we know our Man United. We study Man United. We've been watching Man United our whole life. We know what Man United is. We watch Man United week in, week out. We watch it. We know who's a good player, who's not a good player. I've seen every game for Alanga, and he's not good enough. It wasn't good enough. Absolutely, UK players and Alanga were not good enough. They're not good enough. And neither, I'm not saying that Garnacho is. I'm not saying that Ahmad is. I'm not saying that these players are at the end of the day. Yeah, because Rodney, football's not about absolutes, mate. This is how football works. When a player leaves Man United is far bigger than Nottingham Forest. Regardless what the league position says, Man United are far bigger than Nottingham Forest. When you leave Man United, your expectations go like that. So the pressure is off. You're like I've taken a fridge off your back, like that. The pressure is off. You know what I mean? Like that. You can be a good player, but you might not have the mentality to play for Man United. Right? I know, look, it's hard for it to explain to a Tottenham fan. It really is. I'm sorry, Rodney, but it really is. I tried to explain it to my brother many, many years, who's a Tottenham fan 40 years. Look, what it is, when you leave Man United, the pressure is off. Man United are huge. The pressure you cannot comprehend unless you're in it, right? You're in it. And that is what it is at the end of the day. You cannot argue me about Alanga being a good player or not. He was not good enough for Man United. Rashford is not good enough for Man United. You know, Anthony was not good enough for Man United. Man United, if they're not challenging for the league, they're not good enough for Man United. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. Yeah, but Man United are still a bigger club than Nottingham Forest, Rodney. Please, Rodney, you're not understanding. Man United's pressure is still bigger. Nottingham Forest have got no pressure. They've got no worry. They're doing well. They've got no pressure. They can come fifth right now, and no one's going to say anything to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest can lose 10 games in a row right now. No one's going to say anything to Nottingham Forest. The pressure on Man United is a different animal. The pressure on Man United was a different animal. It's a different animal. The pressure is still on. It doesn't matter whether we were the underdogs or we were not the underdogs. Man United is still a bigger team. The pressure is still huge. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's pressure is still huge, Rodney, at the end of the day. Yeah, but the pressure is still huge, mate. The pressure is more. It doesn't matter who's the Man United should be winning against Nottingham Forest regardless. The pressure for Man United is still there. You know what I mean? It's still there because we have not achieved where we want to be. Man United are one of the biggest clubs in the world, and that is in the player's head. When you're playing for Nottingham Forest, you're not the biggest club in the world. That pressure is not there. With Man United, the pressure is there. The pressure is there. And you know what? Nottingham Forest will never be the biggest club in the world. Man United still are the biggest club in the world. And the pressure is there. They know it. Doesn't matter what's going on, who's performing well on the pitch and blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Up here, they're playing for Manchester United. They're not playing for Nottingham Forest, good old Nottingham Forest with Jason Lee and things like that. They're playing for, you know what I mean? They're playing for Manchester United. You don't buy into it because you don't understand it, mate. Because you've never been in that situation. Big up, barman. Big up, barman. There's far more pressure. But Lord Rodney, come on, man. You're talking rubbish today, mate. You're talking rubbish. There's far more pressure on Nottingham Forest. Mate, there's no pressure on Nottingham Forest. Alanga was shit. for Man United. So was Anthony. So was Rashford. They're not good enough for Manchester United. I've witnessed Champions Leagues, league titles, everything. You're talking to me who've witnessed it. You've witnessed the League Cup. I've witnessed everything, mate. Just, you know what I mean? Don't speak at the end of the day. Basically, for irritants. Just speak when someone's speaking to you of more experience than you, Rodney. More experience, right? I've seen everything. You're not. I've been to 500 games of Man United. I've seen a lot, mate. When you see things, listen. At the end of the day, I supported football. You supported football in your life, but you supported dead football. You supported dead football. Let's be real here. You supported Tottenham, Gary Mabbott, Justin Edinburgh, God rest his soul, never caught. You know what I mean? You supported that. Kasky. That's what you supported, Rodney. Absolutely. Honestly, let's see where Forest play at the end of expectation on their shoulders. We have decided this. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And every team has this season. Aston Villa had it last season. Leicester had it a few years ago. It happens, of course. Yeah, but you don't study. Man United like I have, Rodney. I've watched Man United my whole life. I've studied Man United my whole life. I know who's good enough for Man United. You know who's good enough for Tottenham. I know who's good enough for Man United. Alenga was not good enough for Man United. Neither. I'm not saying that Garnacho is. I'm not saying that Bruno is. I'm not saying that Casemiro is. But mate, you're on a different hymn sheet here. You're on a different hymn sheet. You know what I mean? Man United are different to Tottenham. You know what I mean? I can tell you about the birds and the bees. Absolutely. I'm being silly, guys. Mate, come on, man. Come on. Mate, come on. Just write this tweet out. Thank you, Ruke Rap. I know, mate. Some people speak for irritants at the end of the day. You think you're right, Rodney, but you're wrong. Guys, where's my chat? Where's my community, guys? Tell him that Ndanga was not good enough for Man United. He was not. Neither was Rashford. Neither was Anthony. Neither was any of these players. And again, at the end of the day, you followed the league for 25 years watching every club. I followed the league for 40 years watching every single club, mate. But you obviously haven't learned anything. Every club football go through this. Yeah. Lord Rodney having a trigger moment. UK Darren, be honest, brother. Be honest. Look, I'm not always right, and I don't deal with absolutes. But was Alenga good enough for Man United? Was Alenga good enough for Man United? And we have to say no. Was Rodney, you got to stop commenting, mate, because I'm not going to agree with you. Yeah, because you're coming out with dead opinions. And that is very Tottenham-like, because we know as Man United fans in this community, below par, worse than Anthony. Exactly. Man United, I come from Eric Cantona, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? This is what I come from, right? Andy Cole, you know, Brian Robson, you know, even the likes of Paul McGrath, even these type of players. I come from these type of players, mate. Roy Keane. I come from these type of players, mate. Alanga's not good enough for Man United. Anthony's not good enough for Man United. Rashford's not good enough for Man United. I hold standards. I was there in the Champions League final, 98, 99. You've never witnessed anything like that. Now, I've seen character. It's not just about skill. It's not just about ability. It's not just about running. It's about character. It's about having the ability to get the ball. Absolutely. There you go. Not good enough. And we move on. We move on from that. Not good enough, Rodney. You do your opinion. That is fine. You're entitled to that. I disagree. And we're not going to agree. So there's no point going on. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you haven't rightly stated nothing, Rodney. Rodney, you need to leave it, mate. You need to leave it. Bruv, you need to leave it. Leave it, mate. And Man United are a bigger club, far more pressure, far more different. You've got to look at things in context. Look at the Man United where we are, how we play. Absolutely. I mean, look, I've never spoken to a Spurs fan that has good knowledge of football. I'm sorry, I haven't. I mean, you got Harry Redknapp throwing up racist signs and things like that. I'm not even interested in that. We'll agree to disagree, Rodney. Yeah, that is where we leave it. It's over. right? The bottom line is, are Manchester United good enough? No. Was Alanga good enough? No. Will Alanga get us to a title challenge? No. Will Rashford get us to a title challenge? No. Will Anthony get us to a title challenge? No. Will Garnacho get us to a title challenge? No. None of these players will. So what Man United should be doing, Man United are the biggest team in England. We have the most revenue in the world. You know what I mean? We should be doing better. And these players, absolutely, look, my God. Beckham, Cole, York, Cantona, Ronaldo, these set the standards. We are nowhere near. Absolutely, barman. Absolutely, barman. There you go. And Lord Rodney, you're going to have to hold that, mate. You're going to have to hold that because you've been outnumbered here, mate. Hold it and move on. You know what I mean? You lost this one. At the end of the day, one day, come on this channel without Google anything, and I will teach you about the birds and the bees. All right? Not just about Tottenham. I'll talk about FC Tokyo or Hearts of Oak or Ghana. If you want to talk about other teams around the world, you've been watching a lot of football, right? Let's do that. You know what I mean? Because I don't have journalists on this show who talk to me. They're big journalists if I don't know anything. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. You were wrong. Not just outnumbered. I'm embarrassed by your opinion, Rodney. Sorry, mate. Sorry, man. I'm embarrassed by it. It's sad, but, at the end of the day, need the pills, mate, Rodney. But this isn't pills, by the way. This is chewing gum. The good old Alex Ferguson chewing gum treatment. There you go. There you go, guys. Guys, it's been a great show. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. I really appreciate all of you. SLD, I'd like Alanga, but we need better. Newcastle should have kept Chris Wood instead of signing Isaac. Exactly, SLD. Standards. That's what it is. Focus on Spurs. There you go. Rodney's focus on Spurs, mate. I'm done with it. You know what I mean? It's like arguing with Eric Ten Hag about hair. It's like arguing with Eric Ten Hag about shampoo. That's what it's like. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Oh, God, blimey. Oh, my God. Spurs lifelong mid-table team. Sorry for their supporters. Big up, barman. 26 years, 16 managers, 1 trophy, mate. Absolutely. You glory hunter, Rodney. Why didn't you support Bournemouth? You glory hunter. Imagine calling Tottenham glory. Tottenham Hotspur. My goodness me. And they're trying to tell us what is a good player for Man United. Man United are not as big as Nottingham Forest. Oh, God, crying out loud. Beef Bully. Sal, is Onana a liability? I think that's what you mean to say. Yes, Beef Bully. I don't think he commands the respect. I don't think he has the how would I say, decisiveness to be Man United goalkeeper. He doesn't command his area. He causes anxiety, indecisiveness, in my opinion. And I feel like we need a new goalkeeper, Beef Bully. I don't know what you think, Beef, but I think we need a new goalkeeper going forward. When Schmeichel left the football club, it took us a while to find a goalkeeper. It took us a while. And but getting a goalkeeper is another specialist position. And if sometimes you need more than one window to find the right goalkeeper. We eventually got the right goalkeeper in Van der Sar, of course. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it worked out then. But you've got to get the right goalkeeper. But what I look at is characteristics of a goalkeeper. I look at commanding his area, making the defense calm. You know what I mean? Like calm. I think Onana causes our defense anxiety, and I just feel like we need to move on from him. He's a good goalkeeper, but he's not a Man United goalkeeper. Again, not a Man United goalkeeper. He's a Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. He might go Nottingham Forest, and he might do absolutely fantastic. And people will say, we shouldn't have sold Onana. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, pressure is big at Man United, of course. He's not fit. To be honest, Sal, he had a white part. Oh, man. You know what I don't understand, Darren, is those people who grow the sides of their hair, but they cut the middle of their hair off. It's mad. Lord Rodney's using the emojis to add weight to his dead narrative. Just to let you know, that's an update. Lord Rodney is using emojis now. He's resorted to emojis laughing at his own comments. Sad existence, really is. Really sad, Rodney. I thought you're better than that. You need some ambition. Don't just be satisfied with underdogs like my friend Rodney. Absolutely. I know, I've witnessed with my own eyes. I went to games. We've done it. Man United fans, 40 years, Man United. I know what's good. No, what's not. Elanga will not get in Manchester United's D team in the 90s and in the turn of the century. The D team. He wouldn't get in the D team. Spurs underdogs because they're shy. Absolutely. Sporting Spurs, that's a red card for it in itself. They're big up Rasta. Goodness me. I mean, look, guys, I could retire right now, right? And I've seen 2 Champions Leagues, endless titles and that, and no one that ever reached those levels. I've seen 13 Premier League titles. Who cares? I've seen it all, done it all. In 1999, I slept on the beach in Barcelona, right? Because I couldn't afford a hotel. There were no hotels available. To watch Man United against Barcelona in the 1999 Champions League final, right? And after that Champions League final, I promised myself, even if we never win another trophy, I'll be content because I've seen it all. I'm happy. I've got my brother crying at Daniel Amakachi scoring in an FA Cup semi-final while Man United are going around winning trebles. You know what I mean? And my older brother is a Tottenham fan, you know, and that is where we are at the end of the day. Absolutely. But guys, thank you very much. It's all about opinion, but much respect to you all. As long as the opinion is respectful, that's all that matters. Guys, thank you for joining me. Don't forget, I may be back. Jamie Jackson might be back on the show. I'm waiting for confirmation, but Jamie Jackson might be back on the show later on. The journalist Jamie Jackson, of course, who is in the press conference, etc., etc., etc. Guys, thank you everyone who's joined me, who's made the show. Much love to you all. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and smash a like on the video. We move on to Man City at the weekend, guys. Have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you later, guys. Have it easy. Take it easy. And Spurs are crap. Bye.